Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Podcast, your favorite place to practice your listening and learn naturally. I'm Zane.
And I'm Sarah. We are so happy you are here tuning in with us today. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's hang out.
That's right. Today we have a very special episode for all our absolute beginners and lower intermediate friends out there. We are focusing on A1 and A2 English level conversations.
Yes, and our main topic today is something we do every single day. How to talk with friends in English.
It sounds simple, right? But sometimes when you are learning a new language, talking to friends can actually feel a bit scary. You worry about making mistakes or forgetting words.
Exactly. So today, Zane and I are going to have a long, relaxed chat. We will show you the exact words, phrases, and small talk tips you need.
By the way, Sarah, how has your week been so far? We haven't caught up properly since Monday.
Oh, it's been good but busy. I did some gardening on Tuesday, and yesterday I met up with an old friend from school. What about you?
Pretty good. I actually went to that new coffee shop down the street. The coffee was amazing, but the line was so long. I waited for 20 minutes.
Oh, wow, 20 minutes just for coffee? You must really love your caffeine, Zane.
I really do, Sarah. I really do. But it was worth it. Anyway, speaking of meeting friends, that brings us perfectly into our main topic today. When you see a friend, what is the very first thing you say?
Well, at the A1 level, we all learn, hello, how are you, right? It's classic. It's safe.
Right. But in real life, humans don't always say, how are you every single time. It can sound a bit like a textbook. When I see you, Sarah, I usually say, hey, Sarah, what's up? Or how's it going?
Yes, how's it going is so natural. And how do you answer that? If you say, I am fine, thank you, it sounds a bit formal. Usually I just say, not much, just working, or pretty good, thanks.
Exactly. It's all about keeping it casual. Let's think about a story. Remember last month when we ran into our friend Tom at the supermarket?
Oh, yeah. That was so unexpected. We were both looking at the apples and suddenly he bumped into my shopping cart.
Yes, and he didn't say, hello, Sarah, how are you today? He smiled big and said, hey, long time no see. What are you guys up to?
What are you up to? That is such a great phrase for our listeners to learn. It just means, what are you doing right now? Or, what are you doing these days?
Let's break that down for a moment because this is our learning section context. If a friend asks you, what are you up to? You can use the present continuous tense to answer. For example, I am studying English, or I am shopping for dinner.
That's a perfect grammar point, Zane. Let's give our listeners a few more example sentences using that. Listeners, you can say, not much, I'm just watching TV. Or, I'm cooking some lunch right now.
Simple, easy, and very natural. Another thing people worry about when talking to friends in English is how to react to stories. Like, if a friend tells you some good news or some bad news, what do you say?
Oh, that's huge. If you don't react, your friend might think you aren't listening. For example, if I tell you, Zane, I passed my driving test yesterday, what would you say?
I would say, wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. Or, oh, nice. I'm so happy for you. You see, using words like awesome, great, or cool makes the conversation flow so much better.
But what if the news is sad? What if I say, Zane, my favorite coffee mug broke this morning?
Oh, no. I know how much you loved that mug. I would say, oh, that's too bad. Or, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It shows empathy, even for small things.
It really does. It makes the speaker feel heard. Now, let's pause for a second because I want to ask our lovely listeners a question. We want you to practice right now, in your mind or out loud.
Yes. Imagine your friend just told you they bought a new puppy. What is your natural reaction in English? Think about it. Would you say, that's great, or something else? Feel free to pause the audio and practice saying it out loud.
I would definitely say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Pictures, please. Moving on, let's talk about making plans with friends. This is definitely A2 level English territory. How do we invite a friend to do something?
A very easy structure is using do you want to, followed by a verb. For example, do you want to get lunch tomorrow? Or do you want to watch a movie tonight?
Yes, that is very common. Another slightly more advanced but super friendly way is saying, are you free on Saturday? Or do you feel like getting a coffee?
Oh, do you feel like is a beautiful spoken English tip. Just remember, listeners, after do you feel like, we use a verb with ing. So do you feel like eating pizza? Or do you feel like going for a walk?
That's an excellent grammar tip, Zane. Let's share a quick story about how plans can sometimes go wrong, but still be funny.
Oh, don't remind me. Haha. We planned it for a whole week. I called you and said, "Hey, Sarah, do you want to go to the beach on Sunday?" And you said, "Yes, I'm free."
Right. But then Sunday arrived and it started raining cats and dogs. It was pouring. I called you back and had to change the plans. I said, "Hey, it's raining. Do you want to just hang out at my place instead?"
And that is exactly what real friends do. We change plans easily. We use the phrase hang out. To hang out just means to spend time together doing nothing specific. It's one of the most common phrasal verbs in English conversation.
We just sat on the sofa, drank hot tea, talked about life, and played board games. It was actually a really cozy, happy day, even though the weather was sad.
It really was. So listeners, don't worry if your English isn't perfect when making plans. Just keep it simple. Use do you want to or let's. For example, let's watch a movie.
Let's do another question. Think about your weekend. If you want to invite your best friend to go to a restaurant with you this weekend, how would you ask them in English? Try to use one of the phrases we discussed.
Take your time to think about it. Practice makes perfect. Sarah, as we start wrapping up today's long chat, what is one final piece of advice you have for an A1 or A2 learner who wants to talk to friends?
I would say, don't be afraid of silence or speaking slowly. True friends don't care if you speak fast or slow. They just want to connect with you. Use short sentences, smile, and use active listening words like ah, oh, really, and wow.
That is beautiful advice, Sarah. Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's podcast episode. We hope you learned some useful phrases and feel more confident to talk with your friends in English now.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. Don't forget to practice what you learned. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep practicing and have fun.